بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome all of you wherever you are. I welcome with all of you with the first lecture on the first part of Fatwa Life on the 13th day of Ramadan. May Allah return it back with goodness and harmony. The first question: can the Quran be written on one piece of wood? First of all, to write it, that's obedience to Allah Azza wa Jal and getting closer to Him. And whomever writes it, he should have the capability to write what is known in the writing, or to be part in the memorization of the Book of Allah. So he will take from Allah Azza wa Jal. We are the one who descended the Quran, and we are protecting him. But do not leave the intention of goodness and not to make it for beautifying, because you find the Quran is written in one piece of paper, not wood. But with certain things that no one can read. So what is the use of spending all this time on something that cannot be read? No one will benefit from reciting it. So I hope that we use our time wisely, whether in the things that are allowed or in the obedience. Writing the Quran is a very good worship of Allah Azza wa Jal, but has to be within the purpose, the goal, which is to protect and preserve the Quran and to help in reciting it and memorizing it, not just for entertainment. So inshallah it will be something that is wide, so we could talk, in that meaning that I mentioned. The second question: if there's two teams for football, each one they paid money to any institution, Islamic institutions or non-profit organization, but the condition they buy with this one to give a reward for the one who wins. Is that allowed, or is it one form of gambling? The answer: let's first talk about what is gambling. What is it that makes anything a gambling that is forbidden? Allah Azza wa Jal said, "Oh, who you believe." And the liquor and the gambling and others are part of the filth of the shaitan. So stay away from it. And it is anything that both partners have either a win or to lose. The win is the loss of the other. So either you win or you will lose. Your winning is the loss of the other side, and vice versa. And that cannot be except on three things: the competition in the camels, the horses, and the other one is the competition in throwing the stones or the arrows. This is very legitimate competition. Anything beyond that is gambling, or we think is gambling. So that's what you have mentioned. It's And it's not of the three that I mentioned, the competition of the throwing the arrow, nor the horses, nor the camels. So it is, there's restriction on it. Just because you give this another association, it's gonna not gonna change. So they instead of doing it themselves, they allow somebody else to do it to present them. The difference here, if an external way that's spent from their own money to support the uh, how do I how do I verify, making sure that this what they are giving me is not haram or innovation? The best thing, not uh, to live a happy life, is to have a life just like the Prophet ﷺ. I when when you find that people are calling for falsehood, this is the time of the years that are deceiving, where the trustworthy is betrayed and the liar is betrusted, and vice versa. And the foolish person speaks in behalf of the general people. So this religion is a, so what, look who you are learning your religion from. So if you have a calamity, take it to the best that you trust from the people of knowledge. And if the fatwas of people are different, use the one that are more knowledgeable and there's areas in the internet also to teach over the open. In the first days, you have to show what you have from the Book of Allah and what Allah allowed you from this. Allah said, do they contemplate the Quran, or there is like locks on their heart, certain heart. There is a demand for all the Muslims to need to know, and if we have finished that book, we need to, that will take to the next steps, because one thing will lead to the other, and you want to open learning from the universities. You have Michigan University. You could register, get one whatever. So remember the angels, they put their wings for the students of knowledge because of Allah's satisfaction of Him. Is the to swear by Allah during the anger, is there kafara for that? He will not know what he's saying. If he continues to be angry, that's when he will not be responsible for any divorce or any other problem. Everybody claim anger. Anger is not always going to hold the kafara. When a man came to the Prophet ﷺ and he told him, give me an advice, he said, don't get angry. So he repeated it several times. And every time he answered, do not get angry. So the the question about the, the exchange in that that one is my son. I mentioned to you. It doesn't matter whether you made this exchange from Jewish or someone who worship Shaitan or else. So there is no you change in the currency with another country, wherever the entity that's behind it. And Allah Azza wa Jal made easy, and that does not mean that you should not deal with these people. Again, whatever you do with that money, if you need to make sure it's not faced to hard rules. So now there's the best of these places of goodness. The mistakes of Al-Fatiha. What are those? What if the Imam made them? We have to do. Whomever change these conditions is not accepted. There's 11 shadda, except 3 in the basmala. And whomever tries to change, so they said صراط الذين أنعمت. Someone who change letter by letter, not because is a new other one. Some of the scholars they changed for the dad and dad uh, because it's too close for the so he should be able to, and it is uh, and the one who recites, he if he recited the dad as law, uh, it does change the meaning, and that's different from وَلَا and that's different from if so the majority that whomever make a good recitation Fatiha is not accepted, and some they allow that. She someone is working with the commercial insurance, and they pay 5% of your monthly and without taking anything out, and they take, and you have the choice either to accept or not, and then they reinvest it. So after certain age they take the percentage. So does he benefit from that or not? We have to choose something different. So the answer, since you have the choice and you are sure of this is not, and the things that are forbidden, so the best thing is to stop, and whomever Allah give taqwa, He will give him from, and He will give him what he do not expect, and Allah knows the best. In Surah Al-A'rab, what does it mean what Allah said? You're going to go back in our millah. How are we going to accept that? And the ruling of uh, the meaning, you you have to come back to our religion. Ibn Ja'far al-Tabari. So, or you go back to us, unless you go back to our religion that we are in, from worshiping the idols. I don't see the reason for your question yet. This is the saying of a lot of the scholars, and the disbelievers, they are saying whatever they want. So the ayah took any doubt, and this is Allah's, and Allah Azza wa Jal did not give them away to their enemy, and those who disbelieve in Allah, and the disbeliever, they believe everything, I, the answer, I do not change it by myself. I only follow the inspirations. I'm afraid that Allah will have punishment for me. The uh, Prophet ﷺ will not, and the people who left from his tribe, we're gonna take you out of our. If we are disliked, we have claimed falsehood on Allah. If we go back to your religion after Allah saved us from it, and we should not go back to it unless Allah Azza wa Jal wants something. He have gained everything. What are the accents of the verses that I hope the one who asked the question. They put these whispering of the shaitan behind their back. They don't put any amount of weight to it. They are stubborn, and it's not going to harm them with the permission of Allah. The capacity to see where he wish he fell from a high. Of the When he saw them, he said, "You found it. It's not the complete, but it is to reserve the right." This is the clarity of iman. Also, Allah has forgiven this ummah on what they said, as long as they don't do it or talk about it. So Allah does not put you a burden unless there's a difference between the bad, evil look and the intention to stay. So if the Muslims met with their swords, the killer and the one who's killed, it is in the sake of Allah. And if two are fighting, both of them are the hellfire. Uh, that's what the Prophet ﷺ said. Because if he had the chance, the other one will kill him. It's not what his wife, his soul talked to him, but no, it became an intention, and serious in the contention in taking this will up. Between the cows and the lizard. Is 2030 an important year for Jews and Christians, or is it normal? Because I saw a video, there is a theory about the coming back of Isa, peace be upon him. They can say what they want, Allah is sufficient. But we are the followers of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When we look into the incidents of, so we can see that we are It could be a trial to learn something in the future by the enlightenment of each lecture. They so I remind one more time. At 1400, when the vision is different from some of the Muslim leaders, that the Mahdi is also. They tried that in the Haram, and they thought, and they were hanged in front of the Haram. Al Mahdi, it is a true, and it's part of our belief, is not a fabrication. But no one said what year he will show up, or certain person is the Al Mahdi. These are something else is added this. These issues we need to uh, put the dates for them or the persons, unless we have a clear meaning. I don't know of anything of clear. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.